Hi. Almost everyone watches me without a subscription. Please support my channel with a subscription. I try for you. Thank you. Story 1. I have to divorce my wife because her friend came and said he was the father of my child. I need to vent a bit, so here goes. My wife gave birth to our firstborn, a daughter, in November. Shortly after this, like 4 to 5 days, she tells me she got a message from a work friend of hers that he thinks the baby might be his. She tells him that's impossible, they haven't had sex. Apparently he had sex with her when she was blackout drunk at a party. Initially, I was skeptical. She couldn't guarantee they didn't have sex that night. She ended up showing me the texts she had with him on her own initiative, where he basically confessed to non-consensual sex without realizing he did. She was non-responsive, like a dead fish. He thought it was terrible. Basically, we thought he must have made it up. This guy started harassing her, came to our door, sent her a million texts and calls, etc. So we said we'd order a home DNA test and send it for analysis, because that would be definitive proof. She said this guy is a person she hardly knows except for some work parties, which I doubt because I've seen his name in her caller ID many times. Also, she wouldn't have carried the baby to term if she had doubts about whose child it was. I believe that, because she was very happy about becoming a mom. She's not a good enough liar to pretend that well for 9 months. Also, she's never been a very sexual person except the last few years with me. We've had a lot of trouble in that area that we started to resolve recently. I doubt that she'd be sleeping with some guy on the side, especially when he isn't her type at all. He's short and blonde. She likes tall guys with dark hair. So I believed her side of the story, and perhaps still find it reasonable that the sex was non-consensual because that's what the guy himself said. I told her if we were to get through this and all I had to go on was her word, she needed to be totally straight with me from now on and share all communication that they had, written or otherwise. That was my stipulation for continuing the relationship. Before Christmas I came home and she and the baby were gone. But all their stuff was still there, so considering we have a crazy guy who's stalking her, I got very worried. I tried to call her, but her cell phone was still there. I picked up the phone to see if it had any leads about where she was, and it was a text from the guy. He talked about how it was bad she was having an operation on the 23rd of December and said he wanted to accompany her to the hospital. Turns out, she was just visiting a neighbor. I asked her about this, and she said she told him she was getting an operation so he'd leave her alone for Christmas. That's reasonable enough, I figured. However, I was supposed to see all their communication, so I asked to see the messenger convo. She then blankly refused, said I don't believe her, and that sharing it would be like another assault. So we nearly divorced then and there, but I said we could talk about it in therapy, but this was a serious breach of my trust. I didn't leave her because I thought her explanation for the recent texts was reasonable. Still, I told her I wonder what is so bad about that conversation that she's willing to burn her life to the ground to hide it. In therapy, the therapist basically said that she needed to figure out a way to share what we agreed she'd share. Anyway, so on Friday, I went to her in-laws after working a week back home. She and the baby stayed there after Christmas and were supposed to come home with me on Sunday. My birthday was on Sunday, so she shared some pictures she took the week before Christmas at a professional photographer of her and the baby. She wondered which picture I wanted for my birthday. The last picture she had cropped out a bit at the bottom, but she hadn't been accurate enough. I saw the top of the guy's head, next to her head in an embrace. At least 2 photos he was in. For me, the relationship died that very moment. She claimed that he had just showed up there, and she wanted him to leave, so she took some photos with him to give him what he wanted. I told her I may have turned out to be gullible, but I'm not that gullible. The guy who forced you to sex shows up, and you fear for your and your baby's security, so you take pictures where you hug him? Nah, sorry. So, it's over. I booked a hotel and flew home on Sunday. She's staying at a friend's place. Well, I doubt it. We have a therapist session booked on Wednesday, but it's just a formality we have to do to start the divorce proceedings. The only thing I don't understand is why? Why burn your whole life to the ground for a guy you don't seem to like and who you're not interested in? I know she's just leave me if she wanted to be with someone else. I don't understand the reasoning behind risking a 13-year relationship and having to raise a kid as a divorced parent for whatever they were doing. No matter why, or what they have been doing, it's the constant lying which is why I'm leaving her. Even if she was cheating with him, If she had admitted to it early and been totally transparent going forward, I could work past that. But when she's lying to my face while hanging out with him while I'm at work, I'll never be able to trust her ever again. She claims I don't know what it's like being stalked, and she did this unreasonable thing just to try to get him to stop. Considering she hasn't worked very hard to prove this story, I doubt it. She must be completely insane, I guess, because no logical reason seems apparent. My main theory so far is maybe she used him as a friend who wanted to be more than friends to get gifts and money, because she has suddenly had more money the past year. But then he got frustrated and took advantage. Then she's trying to keep it going now, thinking she can play me for a fool. He knows about me too. He knows she's with me and that they aren't in a relationship. He doesn't seem like he wants to be the father of the kid either, just wants to be registered as the dad, I guess? I don't know, it's all very confusing. TLDR, a seemingly crazy guy says he's our baby's father. I tell wife I need total transparency. She withholds information and apparently has been hanging out with him when I was at work. Getting a divorce. Don't forget to subscribe, rate the video and click the bell. Story 2: my girlfriend manipulates me and takes my money. She uses me however she wants. Thanks everyone in advance for reading this. Oh, where do I start? Just feel like talking to someone and let it all out, smiling face with smiling eyes. Long story short, we dated for a few years and then we both moved to different countries. Had a lot of fights, breakups, but kept coming back to one another. The feelings were very strong and we just couldn't break it off. Toxic, I know. She's a very persistent person. If she wants something, she will get it, and I'm not saying that necessarily as a bad thing, but I'm saying it in the context of if she wants me back, she will continue texting and calling me until I respond. The last fight we had was in January 2021. I was upset with her, and this time I had decided that no matter what I feel or go through, I will resist the temptation to get back with her and genuinely try to move on this time. She didn't message or call me for months. So many roller coaster emotions went through my head, like, is she seeing someone else? Is she kissing someone else? Is she sleeping with someone else? I was lonely but kept myself busy, made new friends and tried to build my life up. Few months after the breakup in January 2021, she started texting me again that she's missing me and hopes that I'm well. I wanted to punish her, so I just completely ignored her and didn't respond to anything. Months went by and the texts and calls kept getting more frequent. Eventually, I blocked her number. She started texting me from another number and persistently texting me and calling me at least once every month, saying how much she misses me and loves me. The whole 2021 went by like this, and also 2022 was exactly the same, where she would keep messaging and calling me once every 1 to 2 months. I was persistent this time and just ignored her. As much as I wanted to punish her, eventually it also became a reason that I knew that talking to her is going to bring back a lot of memories, and I am going to feel very emotional if I decided to engage in a conversation with her, and I didn't want that. The whole 2022 went by like this, except this one time where she kept calling and texting me if I am seeing someone and that I am the reason she's alone at the age of 32 and she isn't able to move on. This one hit me hard, and I texted her back that I am sorry I am the reason for that, and I wish her the best. Also told her that no, I wasn't seeing anyone. I didn't want to engage in a conversation with her, so I just left it at that. In the upcoming months, she continued texting me and calling, but I continued to ignore. I know you guys must be wondering why I didn't block her second number. I don't know why. That was the end of 2022. The last text she sent me was in early November 2022, and then I didn't hear back from her until today. This was the first time I didn't hear back from her for over 2 months, so I thought that maybe she had met someone or finally moved on. This last Christmas break was quite lonely for me, so there were days where she would cross my mind and I would think about the past memories and stuff, but then I would tell myself that it's probably good for her that she had moved on and maybe met someone, and now I am not the reason for her misery. This morning I woke up, checked my phone, and there are her messages and calls again where she's saying that she heard that I got engaged and congratulations and all. Not true, BTW. So I started to wonder who the hell is spreading wrong rumors about me. Decided to call her after 2 years. She was a bit tipsy and kept saying how much she misses me and wants me and how much she loves me. Obviously, it was bringing back a lot of emotions and feelings on my side too. I asked her who told her about my engagement. Her being typical or wasn't giving me an answer and said it doesn't matter. I told her that it does matter because I want to know who's spreading false rumors about me. Eventually she gave in and said she lied to get a reaction out of me, and it worked because I ended up calling her after 2 years. I told her it wasn't nice, but didn't want to make a big deal out of it, so I just let it go. We kept talking and talking, and she then started asking me how much she misses me and loves me and if I was seeing someone. I think to get the truth out of me, she went ahead and told me herself that she slept with a friend in 2021 whom she had known since childhood, but he was using her only for sex and had a girlfriend, so he broke her heart when she found out about it. And she hasn't been with anyone after that. Even after 2 years, when I heard that she slept with someone else, my heart just sank. It was very hard to hear, but I kept myself together. Even while writing this, my heart feels so heavy, but I guess I will be okay. And before you guys go ahead and bash me by saying that she had all the right to be with someone because we weren't together, so yes, you are right. I am just saying that hearing it made me really sad, and there's nothing wrong with feeling sad about something. Then she started asking me how many people I have slept with. Now, just for context, she knows that I am the type of guy who doesn't like to be alone, and I also love sex, so she was expecting the truth to be like, yes, I have been with this many people and slept with this many girls, but the truth was that I haven't had sex with anyone since her, and she was the last person I slept with. I told her that I did meet a girl, and we started dating, but it only lasted for 2 weeks because we had a big fight, and I realized that we weren't a good match. True story. But I hadn't had sex with her either. She didn't believe me at first because it was shocking for her to believe that how can someone like me go without having sex for over 3 years. She thought I was lying. She just couldn't comprehend that. Now again, purely just for context, she knows that I get a lot of attention and compliments from girls, which is why I guess it was shocking to her. Now for you Redditors, the reason why I didn't sleep with anyone during these 3 years is because I have decided that I don't want to just have meaningless sex and would like to meet someone who I can see myself with long-term marriage, and until I find that person, I am not going to put my penis in it. And yes, I do get a lot of attention from girls, and every now and then I would get an opportunity for sex, but I would decide not to, and I am happy with it. Anyways, I think once she heard that she was the last person I had slept with, it triggered something deeply emotional in her as well, although she kept saying that she still can't believe it. She kept asking why, and it's okay to have sex because we are humans, and I told her that same thing, that I want to have something long-term and meaningful, and I haven't found that person yet. Anyways, we kind of ended the conversation, and she said that it would be nice to talk to her sometimes, and this year she might be planning to visit here, country I live in, for work, and would like to meet me and be with me. I told her that it's probably not a good idea, and also especially now after knowing that she's been with someone else, I can't think of being intimate with her again. She kept pushing it and started asking me things like what was our best sexual memory, and she thinks that I was one of the best sex she had, and our energies were just unmatchable. I stayed quiet for the most part of it. Eventually she let me go off the call, and the call ended. Sent me a few texts afterwards, but I didn't respond. Exactly as I had thought, talking to her brought back so many memories and emotions. I just wanted to share this with someone. I know the right thing would be to just cut her off completely and probably block her, but I'm feeling too emotional to do that at the moment. Thanks for listening to my rant, smiling face with smiling eyes. Has anyone had a similar experience? Don't forget to subscribe, rate the video, and click the bell. Story 3. Do I, 26F, probably have a personality disorder, so my relationship failed. 29M, despite treating him well. Scared I, 26F, have some disorder which makes my relationships fail, especially with X30M. I'm really worried I, 26F, have something seriously wrong with me which is affecting my relationships and cause breakup with 29M. I've always felt a bit depressed in my 20s. At school and college, my mood was stable and I had lots of friends. Past experience of bullying, but I remember feeling very confident once I got to college. But as soon as I got to university, I started to feel out of place. I'm still friendly, but struggled to make friends. Also lost touch with all of my school and college friends. I would drop them messages, but the whole relationships just fizzled out to the point we never spoke again. I was always the person to try and arrange meetups, but the constant rejection and lack of responses made me stop trying. I'm a no-drama person. I don't argue. I don't fight or say horrible things. I'm quite easygoing. Now at 26, I have no friends. I meet people but feel I can't connect to them like I used to. I have like 2 friends and I don't want to cut them off, but I'm the only person to ever reach out or make plans. I'm not an argumentative person. I don't cause drama and I'm friendly, but I feel like I must have something wrong with me. I'd also never had a boyfriend until last year, which was really making me panic. Until a guy messaged me on a dating app and we hit it off. I really liked him in the beginning, like I felt he was perfect. He seemed keen on me too. I did a lot for him, planned dates and days out, but he never planned anything. And it was one random day in December 2021 that I suddenly lost all feelings toward him, which was distressing to me. I was so confused why I had this anger toward him. If he made plans with other people, I would feel so jealous. I never felt worried he would leave me until he totally started pulling away. I would never text him frantically or call him a lot. If he made plans for a trip, I would help him plan it, but secretly wish his trip failed. I don't know if this was due to his lack of effort. I didn't feel appreciated. I never showed this though. I never argued or said anything horrible to him. I tried to communicate my needs, but was met with him seeming annoyed or telling me I was manipulative. I kind of pulled away after this, but still made effort for his birthday and cooking his fave foods. He left me. I keep moving around the country thinking a new city and new start will help me, but when I get there, I still feel alone and don't know how to meet new people. After my breakup, I feel like I can't connect with people and I am a loser. I try meeting people, but keep myself very distant. I always think people don't like me. I work from home and even can't connect with my work colleagues. It feels very isolating. I even moved into a house share and I loved it so much. Started to really enjoy spending time with the people there, amazing convos, and felt connected. Until one of the housemates turned against me for apparently no reason. I even tried to talk about it to him and he would give me silent treatment. I got so upset, I withdrew and ended up avoiding everyone, and eventually couldn't bear it anymore as felt like everyone hated me. Despite me being such a people pleaser, cleaning the house, cooking for them, and making the house nice for everyone. I've been reading about BPD and it's scaring me. I feel like I have some of the symptoms. Apart from I'm not impulsive, I'm the total opposite. But I have this deep jealousy of everyone's lives, people that have partners, friends groups, holidays. I have no one to go on holiday with, so I didn't even take any leave from work this year. I feel like once people move away, we just stop talking and a relationship fizzles, however hard I try. Is this common? I feel utterly depressed and like I'm a failure. The fact I'm single and still think about my ex every day worries me. Like I've never been chased by a man, scared I have something wrong with me. Trying dating apps, but the constantly non-responses from my matches upsets me. I can cry for a few days if a match stops responding. I'm so wishful to have a romance and worried I never will. Don't forget to subscribe, rate the video and click the bell.